Now, joining us via Skype to discuss more on the 2019 budget presentation by the President is the Director of Research and Advocacy of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Vincent Wani. Thank you for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
Now, help us, if you will. First, let's begin by what your assessment is. Do you see this in terms of the direction the budget is headed as an optimistic budget, an ambitious one, a cautious one?
Well, I think one can look at it as a cautious budget. There is nothing optimistic about this budget. You know, the first is about the timeline of presentation. Today is December 19, if I'm correct. Looking at when we normally present our budget, this is coming a little bit late. Last year, it was around November 17 where budget was presented. And make no mistake, you need about 3 months before the year end to present budget. That is something reasonable to allow legislators to consider it, approve it, and get the budget ready early in the new year. The timeline for presenting this budget also suggests that we might get this budget approved between May or June 2019, which is not good in terms of budget timelines and budgetary delays that we've been dealing with. Then in terms of budgetary assumptions too, especially the oil benchmark, oil price benchmark of $60 per barrel is quite optimistic. Looking at the realities on ground and what is feasible economically and international oil dynamic, $60 per barrel is optimistic and may not be realized. And 2.3 million per barrel assumption is also on the high side. Last year, we budgeted 2.3 million. We realized on the average 1.9 million barrels per day. You know, we were fortunate to have a fairly a good price for a better part of the year in 2018, you know. But recently, we've seen what happened in the oil market. Today, it's about $58.9 per barrel, you know, $58.9 per barrel, you know. And if this trend continues, and again, analysts have really looked at it and find out that it's very difficult to keep oil price at $80 per barrel over the next 6 months. So with this very indicator, I believe very strongly that this budget is not optimistic in any way. And if you also look at some other parameters, like the deficit, is also in line with what we've always had. You know, the expenditure ratio to the total budget, that is the capital expenditure, still at the neighborhood of 30%. You know, this is what we've always had. So there's nothing really spiking about this budget. I was looking to hear something about providing for oil subsidy or removing oil subsidy, or even providing for the almighty minimum wage, but this was glossed through the mention of a technical committee and a bill, finance bill, and the new minimum wage bill that will be coming to the National Assembly later. No timelines given, and these are indicators, or these are signals that the strike action of labor will likely continue, and instability in the new year will likely continue. We're already having.
Therefore, much to ponder as far as what the National Assembly will make of it as they consider it. But apart from some of the figures that you've just mentioned, compared to the previous budget of 2018, what differences did you notice?
Okay, the difference noticed, of course, the total budget in terms of total expenditure have slided down from 9.12 trillion last year, that is this year, to 8.83 trillion for 2019. Then again, the GDP assumption have also it's also adjusted. We're looking at 3% GDP, and for you to realize 3% GDP, it means that your oil price will be on the average $70 per barrel, between $70 and $80 per barrel, and this is where we believe that some level of optimism realized is embedded. Then the exchange rate benchmark 305 this year and 305 next year. We believe that exchange rate should reflect the realities on ground. You know, if we move exchange rate close to the higher window rate of 350, 355, I think that is more reasonable than keeping it at 305. And also, and this also lead to a lot of arbitrage and a lot of multiplicity in the exchange rate environment. These are some key issues. And another key issue is debt service to GDP and debt service to revenue. We've seen that debt service have moderated but marginally. You know, debt service of 2.28 trillion. No, that is capital, but debt service of about 1.86 trillion, and that is 1.3% of GDP. But our concern is the sustainability of the debt we are piling up. You know, if you look at the figure, you find out that we're still doing about 38.5% of total revenue. That is what we're going to use to service debt. And 80% of this debt, according to the president's presentation this afternoon, 70% are domestic debt. These are some of the concerns.
Thank you, Dr. Nwani. Thank you so much. That's as far as time will allow for us to go with your views on the budget presentation. We're speaking with Dr. Vincent Nwani, the Director, Research and Advocacy of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry.